Welcome back. I'm David Lovely, the Integrative Therapist here at the Atma Clinic.
I am Ashley Combs. I am the Holistic Nutritionist here at the Atma Clinic.
And we decided we had so much fun the last
So
time talking about nourishing the soul and mindfulness and sensefulness and all kinds of things.
that was so nourishing. Even it's been maybe a couple months now, I still feel it.
I mean, just as we talk about it, I feel the waves of that experience coming back. So that, because we had so much fun, we wanted to come back and do another conversation. This time on gratitude.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It is.
It's a big topic.
And so I think embodying gratitude, what that looks like, how we can do that, what that means to myself, you, and the invitation to what does that mean for you as the listeners. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna unpack and explore today.
What is it? So when we talk gratitude, I mean, what is that? What do you feel? What do you think and feel gratitude is? What is it for you?
Yeah. You want to jump right into it and go?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm grounded, centered, ready to go. What is gratitude to me? I mean, it's more than just a word. It's a feeling, it's a quality. It's almost a state of mind and body and being for me. And it's packed so full. Gratitude. Even just saying the word, for me, it's like it brings me into the moment. It's like I'm so grateful, and it grounds me, it anchors me. That's just a little window. Like, what does gratitude mean to you?
Well, first, I love the anchoring at that. I've really felt that. I felt the rootedness, and I'm trying to adopt that into my own definition. But right at the top of my head, I think counting my blessings, just acknowledging how lovely my life is, and everything in it, and really being intentional about it. I personally have to be intentional about it, because I think gratitude is something I don't default to. Yeah. So it's more of a like, Ashley, let's do this.
Yeah. It's an exercise.
It's an exercise. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love just the reminder of counting our blessings and just looking at all the things, the full spectrum. I mean, not just what's good and wonderful, but can we also be grateful for those challenges or the difficulties or the seeming difficulties, seeming struggles, or the lived in struggles. And I'd like to get into that and talk about that throughout this conversation of like, let's bring that in, because when things are going good, for me, it's a little easier for me to recognize and honor and acknowledge my gratitude. When things are a little different,
a little heavy,
it's a little bit, it takes more effort.
Would you say that developing a practice makes those heavier moments a little easier to navigate?
Yeah. So what I think I'm hearing you say is like, if I have an established practice, or if I'm working at it, when heavy things come up, it's easier for me to invite or bring gratitude in.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, yes.
Yeah.
Even though it might still take a little bit of time for me to remember, having that foundation is like, okay, this too, I can get through this. Let me get into a place. Let me refocus or shift my perspective. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So embodying, I love that word, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I love that image in my mind of embodying gratitude, and it being a quality. What? So let's dissect that.
Okay.
What does that mean? Like, how do you embody gratitude?
Yeah, I mean, like it probably looks a little different for everyone. Yeah, what is that? What can embodying gratitude look like? You know, I made a conscious effort. I don't remember when I started it, but I wanted more gratitude in my life. I heard there was an individual that I was listening to, and I was reading some of his work, and he talked about gratitude as the ultimate receivership. And I just really appreciated that. It's like giving thanks to things that are either here or that we want to come into our life as if they are already here. Mm-hmm. And I just really appreciated that. And so after listening to that, I just made a conscious effort to say, as a greeting, when people greet you and say, how you doing? He's like, oh, I'm good, fine, whatever. I made a conscious effort to say, I'm grateful, to really begin to practice. Like I want to make this a part of my life. And it was kind of one of those things, you can fake it till you make it, but it was more than that for me. It was really, no, I am. There's so much I can be grateful for. And so I really want to acknowledge that. So that's one way that I've worked with embodying gratitude, is just consciously, anytime, because there's many greetings a day. Hey, how you doing? I'm grateful.
You hey, do that.
Yeah. And so, and it's fun too to see people's response to that, right? And you say, I'm grateful. Oh, that's different. Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. Or, wow, me too. So it's infectious in a positive way, right? A healthy way. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm remembering too.
You're spreading that light of gratitude.
Yeah.
And it really is infectious. Just personally, when I hear it, mm-hmm, when I am greeted by you, when I greet you, mm-hmm, yeah. So thank you.
Beautiful. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Yeah. And yeah, so the word embodiment, mm-hmm, let's just work our way through embodying gratitude. Like, what does that word mean to you? Embody. Ooh. Embody or embodiment?
Embodiment, just on its own, just being that wholeness and really experiencing that, what is gratitude. A lot of times when I talk to patients, I hear a lot of quite the opposite, mm-hmm, the other end of the spectrum of, mm-hmm, complete lack, a lack of gratitude, definitely not embodiment, and in the realm of a kind of a self-sabotage, mm-hmm, and just not, there's this cloud that I see a lot of. I mm-hmm, can see that, mm-hmm, cloud. I can feel it, of just a lot of self negativity. And so, a lot of things, at least in, my own practice, bringing that light, bring that awareness in of gratitude, mm-hmm, of, helping people establish a gratitude practice and embody, mm-hmm, that, switching out of that negativity, because that's what, in that moment, that's what they're currently embodying, and that's what they've been living in for a while. Yeah. So, answer your question back then, I think that's embodying gratitude means for me, and especially how I work with it when I work with people.
It sounds like, if I'm hearing this wrong, please correct me. Mm-hmm. It sounds like maybe a stage or a step to embodiment is awareness, is bringing awareness to perhaps a new perspective or a new possibility or a new potential.
Yes.
That, if I know, for at times, when I was living in depression, or I was struggling, or things were just heavy, it was hard for me to see anything outside of that. And I can remember there's, beautiful people that I've had in my life helping me along my way on my journey to help me see the forest through the trees and just paint a little bit different picture. And sometimes that's just enough for the awareness to be like, oh, yeah, there is something different that I can maybe organize my energy or my awareness or my attention around and begin to live something different. So that's what I hear as I hear you talking about in listening and working and seeing your patients.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I really think gratitude, especially when we're intentional about it, just like what you were talking about, I think it's almost necessary for our lives, for our especially any kind of like health journey or any kind of journey. It's imperative.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude and practicing, like you said, like counting the good stuff, but also acknowledging the bad stuff and how that's made you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all really important to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned earlier, it's so different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
How do you embody gratitude, or what at least like does that embodiment mean to you?
Yeah. So what arises for me when you ask that question is, part of my walk has been a lot of introspection, self-reflection. Admittedly, there's been times where it's been full of like judgment and criticism and self-blame and things of that nature, and that served a purpose. And I recognize now, like, there's a different way, a softer way to be able to do that. And so in that reflection, I can look back at those challenging times, those difficult times, and I can recognize that I made it through those. And in making it through them, I developed a resiliency. I developed a new sense of self. I developed, a different way of looking at me or at looking at situations. And that becomes a resource. That becomes a tool for me. That when I'm faced with a difficult situation or a challenge presently, I can remember I made it through something. And I'm grateful for that because it gave me those skills, those resources, that resiliency. And so I'm grateful for that difficulty. It's like the cliche saying, or I'll just slip my mind, but it's something to the essence of like, oh, it's gone. Whatever that was is gone. It might come back, but that's okay.
Meant to be there.
It is like, like what used to be something that was so hard, I can now look back and say that was a gift. That's something. It's something to that essence. Whatever the cliche statement around that is, maybe it's not cliche, but I can look back and say that was a catalyst for who I am today. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful for that because I like who I'm becoming.
I like it too. I think, I mean, I'm definitely going to be the one to say that is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially when you're in it.
Yeah.
When you're in that muck and when things are just overly heavy, that's hard. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
But I love that you brought up establishing these tools, having these resources, your own resources of just your past struggles. And it's important to remember in those moments, like, no, girl, you got this.
Yeah.
You've done this before,
right?
Yeah.
It's like a source of strength we can draw on when we can remember, when we can shift our perspective. And I think that's why a practice of gratitude can be so helpful and so beneficial. If I'm constantly engaging with something that, even if it's like, I'm just grateful that I have a pair of clean socks on. Right? It doesn't have to be these humongous things that but start small. Let it be simple. I'm grateful for this hot cup of tea, or I'm so grateful for this conversation. But having that and being able to do that, like, it makes it in those times, like, I can shift my perspective. And that's a skill. It's such a, I think it's an important skill. And sometimes it's challenging to really work with, shifting our perspective from something, because we can get caught in all of the emotion or the heaviness of it, and want to kick, scream, fight, blame, all of that. And in my experience, that just continues to pull me along in that energy.
Yeah.
And if I'm able to shift my perspective out of that, it helps. It helps. I know it helps me.
Yeah. I like when you say, like, no matter how small, because that's important. I was talking to a patient not long ago about just negative thoughts, consistent negative thoughts, and bringing gratitude into her own routine, and the idea of it being small is so important. Like, in that moment, in those moments of, whether you're having these just distorted thoughts, or you're in a situation of just hardship, look to the small things and explore. So, go through a scan, go through the senses. What can I feel right now that I just love? I just put lotion on, and I love my soft hands. Or when I walked into the clinic has this beautiful smell, and this morning was heavy, and I stood there and I was grateful for that wonderful aroma. And it has to be the small things. When it's tough, that's the first place to go.
Keystone. It's those touchstones, because to think about all of the big things that I might be grateful for may seem like too far of a stretch or a leap. It's unrealistic almost. But I love even your references of just the simple things, the lotion, so the softness of my skin, and you mentioned the senses, like, what can I see, what can I feel, what can I hear, and those, if we have awareness around that, those can be enough to pull us out of maybe this loop of negative thoughts or rumination or fear or worry or anxiety, because it anchors us right here in this moment, where you can do a check-in. I am okay in this moment. Things might be heavy around me. I'm okay. Oh yeah. It's really sweet. I mean, just taking a moment and, like, just feeling all of the things that we've talked about, even just thus far. It's like, wow.
Rooting yourself, being present, and it makes a world of difference. Mindset is everything. And if it's not everything, it's almost everything. That's my belief.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a foundation. It begins, like, how are we perceiving? How are we thinking about something? And I mean, I know my mind can be real stubborn and want to stay stuck on things. Like, and, like, I can have compassion for myself of, like, yeah, I know that used to serve you. It really did. To just stay stuck and in that. But now you have choice. You have options. I'm telling this to myself, like, I'm yeah, and I really do. And so I feel empowered, in the way that I can respond to things, because I've made practices that work for me, like, I like to share practices that I do with individuals, if it resonates, I say, take it, run with it, make it your own. If it doesn't, make it yours. Do something that really sits, because that's important. So if I said, let's say you don't like to journal or write at all, and I'm like, I invite you to keep a gratitude journal. I think it would really help you out. And you're like, yeah, I think I'll do that. No, it doesn't resonate for me, So it's just inviting people to really make it yours. What would embodying gratitude look like for you? One practice. What could that be?
It's really special that you give someone permission to make it their own. Because the gratitude journal is a biggie. That's like I feel like it's all over the interwebs. This is how you do it. Yeah. But giving someone permission to, what they're passionate about, or what fits in their life. Like how can you embody? How can you embody gratitude?
Yeah. I mean, I think it also leads into how can we optimize gratitude for ourselves? And if I'm telling you this is what you could do, or this is what you should do. I don't like that word. You know how I feel about that word. but just inviting it for them to take it on, because then when you make it your own, really, you're optimizing how that's going to be in your life, and so it just has a way. So thank you, and yes, you're the authority of you. I am no authority over anyone. I'm just a partner walking alongside of you. I might have a few good ideas, maybe not. It's I want to put all of that power back in to your hands for you to transform it. Because I know, and I know you can, I know everybody that I sit with can. Sometimes we might just need a little bit of encouragement. It's run wild with it. Dream, imagine, explore, play with it. Have fun with it. Let it light you up,
Yeah.
Maybe
it's even, I'm trying to think of the different ways, beyond the journal. Thinking about, sit with what are you grateful for? What do you love about yourself? What are those skills or abilities or adjectives, about of you that you are just proud of, and just relish that, So I forgot to ask you earlier what you're grateful for, but I'm going to throw out one thing I'm grateful for is just my just a resilience and a strength that I feel that I have emotionally and physically, energetically. And, one way to celebrate that, or to kind of embody that gratitude, is to go do something where I feel strong,
Okay.
Maybe that's walk up a hill, or
it doesn't have to be big,
or hikers can be, or just something. Really relish those things you really pride yourself on.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for now that we're on that topic?
I don't know if we have enough time.
I don't think we do. Got a lot of gratitude.
Oh man, I mean, I'm so grateful for so many things. I mean, but one thing I'm really, really grateful for that just melts my heart. I'm so grateful for my son's voice. Oh, hearing that is, that's special.
When you talk about your son, I mean, I see it. I do, and I see it in all parents. But when you talk about your son, and when you quote him and you use his voice, it lights me up. There again is that infectious light of gratitude. Yeah,
it is.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful. I read in some readings seeing gratitude is like a flame that just goes out and just yeah, lifts everything that it touches. Yeah. Yeah.
What else? What else are you grateful for?
Oh man. So another like practice that I have, when I leave this clinic, I love sunrises, sunsets, and I love nature. I love trees. And when I leave the clinic in the afternoon, like the sun is just right here, right behind the trees that are out across the street. And I just walk out there and I look at that and take a moment for how grateful I am to be able to do what I get to be a part of. Like the people that I get to sit with, the stories that I get to hear, the journeys that, I see people going to battle for themselves in a healthy way, and it's so inspiring. And so I'm so grateful for that. Wow, I really get to be a part of this.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah.
If we could, do just that, really sit and admire, doing just that on a daily, more than once a day, just whenever you get a chance, even whenever I take a sip of my drink. Oh, I love this. I love this place I'm in. Or, man, this chair is comfortable.
And my mind is like, I want to come back to and just, in regards to like optimizing gratitude, especially in times that are heavy. How can we be more intentional there? Or what would that look like? When things may not be so smooth, or maybe they're really, really trying. How can gratitude be a part of that? And not make it so just become like this, like flippant or insincere, or but really, again, being intentional with, man, things are heavy.
Yeah. I like what you said earlier about one, acknowledging that, you've done this. You've done this before and you can do it again. So, in that moment, really, stopping and intentionally remembering those tools, those resources of your own that you have created just through life's experiences, and then also just coming back to this, also just maybe this meditative mindfulness, again with the I am okay right now. I am okay, and I'm rooted in this current space.
Yeah.
And this current life. There's a lot of beauty. Again, it's hard.
No, but I love, so this is what I love about asking questions and having these conversations with you, is like it opens the door and it invites new awareness. And so I ask you that question and then you begin to share. And now what I hear is like another piece that could be helpful is mantra or affirmation. Words that are, like a touchstone or a reminder of like, I'm okay in this moment. Like, come back to right here, right now. Like, I'm grateful for my breath. Like, I'm grateful for the ability to just sit here and think about this. And so mantra could be another piece that would help optimize gratitude in heavy times. Thank you for that. Like, it just felt like there was another piece that needed to be.
You found that puzzle piece. That's perfect. Yeah. And that's something I don't utilize a lot of. So I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront of my brain as a good mantra or just a word.
Yeah. And it just reminded me of perhaps another piece to help even maybe start a practice if one doesn't have one, or optimize it. Again, just fitting it into whatever the continuum of gratitude that you fall on. You know, sometimes it might also feel like, what if I'm not grateful? You know, I can't find anything that I'm grateful for. Um, you know, that could be a place. And so saying I'm grateful for this or I'm grateful for that maybe feel like too far of a stretch. And so, you know me and words, I love words and how they can be a hindrance or a benefit. You know, how does it sound if I'm having difficulty saying I'm grateful for fill in the blank? How does it sound to say I'm willing to be grateful for something? Right? Open to be grateful about today. And just putting something, a little buffer beforehand to just maybe get the ball rolling a little bit. Like, I'm choosing to be grateful. For what? I don't know, but I'm just choosing gratitude.
Just those words, just the word choosing gives me expansion,
right?
And permission. That's huge.
Those are two beautiful words too, expansion and permission. I mean, yeah.
I'm right? Open to be grateful about. I'm choosing to be. Yeah.
I'm willing to find gratitude.
That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for coming back to that with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ashley, what are you grateful for?
God, you know, and kind of preparing for this little chat. I've been sitting with it because, like I said, I don't default to gratitude. So this is helping me. I am, bathing in this gratitude right now. It's one thing I thought of yesterday, sitting with this. I'm grateful for the moment my kids wake up in the morning and I get to see them. I'm also grateful for the moment I drop them off at the sitters.
Yeah.
And the beauty of, waking into another day with this lovely family that I cherish so much. And then just like a little bit later, it's almost like when I'm dropping my kids off, I am also grateful for this. I don't know. It's this sense of I don't know. It's a sense of shifting into a different part of me because I'm dropping off to go to work, and I am shifting to that nutritionist. I'm shifting into like, okay, professional, go do your thing, and I just feel really good. I feel really, really grateful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. There could be such a long list that we could think about. How many things. And it's like, they're like gratitude can be like glimmers.
Glimmers.
Yes, the more you start looking for it, the more you find, and then it continues to expand. So, if we could, I don't know, invite our listeners or viewers, start looking for gratitude. Find ways to incorporate it. Look how you can embody it. Play with it.
And just by, having that intention, finding moments to invite gratitude in and be open and be open and willing to it, is just that practice alone. There's your optimization. You are optimizing. You are optimizing and embodying your gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love what you just said, and it landed so strongly and differently. It was like inviting gratitude in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just holding that attitude or that intention of like, yeah, I'm inviting gratitude into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then watch it grow.
Oh.
Yeah. This is so much fun.
This is fun.
I really love doing these. I'm so grateful to have these conversations with you and just explore and have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful for these talks, but also I'm grateful for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned earlier, you know, when you do, you said it, you have in your greetings, you know, you were the first person to say that I'm grateful. Like it's the first time I heard the word grateful in a day. Is always comes from you. It's never anyone else. But that I'm so thankful for, because every time I see you and I hear that, it's my reminder.
Okay.
It's that Ashley, invite it in. What are you grateful for? Okay. It's that little voice in me, like, so I, you know, I appreciate the light that you emit, and that gratitude light, because it is tremendously infectious.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm happy to do it. I love it.
I celebrate you. Yeah.
And I too, I'm so grateful for you, and just again the space you hold, the invitation to really just be authentic and let's have fun. Like it's such a wonderful place just to sit. So thank you for that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, for listening. You know, also, if you feel called, like share your gratitude, like share your practices. Yes. Put your comments down below and say, like, this is what I do for gratitude, or this is how I experience it or optimize it or whatever. You know, just share that, spread that, because you never know, somebody might pick that up and be like, oh, yes, you know, we didn't touch on it, but somebody put it in the comments and it's like, yeah, that resonates. I love that. So I'm going to be looking, because I think we're all students in this. Absolutely. In this practice. And yeah. I love to learn. Love to learn. I'd love to hear how you all. Please share. Yeah. And subscribe to our channel, Neela Sandel MD, for more videos. Should we do this again? I think we should. Yeah. As it should. Or you let us. Oh, there's that should word. We could do it again. You let us know. You know, especially if there's a topic you, as the listeners, wanna. Okay. Yeah, wanna explore. Hey. I'm for that. I think that'd be fun. I do too. Yeah.